Set a vampire.
But as it was designed by Jah, who is my creator, who sent me here to help to alleviate the shitstorm, the dirt, the filth and corruption that my people have been inoculated with. It is only my duty to teach those who will learn. And that's the beginning of my days at war, World War I, with the devil. It's only the truth that can make a man free. It's only the truth that can make a man live.
I will be fighting, I gotta be fighting, You are not blame.
truth has been branded outlawed and illegal. It is dangerous to have the truth in your possession. You can be found guilty and sentenced to death.
Everybody wants to go up to heaven, I say. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to go up to heaven, I say. But none of them want to die. I don't know why. But ain't gonna be no peace till man gets equal rights and justice. Yeah, gotta get equal rights and justice. Oh, we need equal rights and justice.
So irrespective of what men want to invent or try to imitate, because they cannot create. You know, see, they're only trying to invent and researching and discovering destruction. But, you know, so it was, so shall it be. And these are the last days.
Firing, shot, shot, shot. I'm coming in hot, 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 hot. Yeah. Firing, shot, no shot, no shot. Hot, hot, hot. Firing.
Reggae superstar Peter Tosh and another man known as Doctor were shot dead at the singer's Plymouth Avenue home at about 8:30 last night. 5 other persons, including popular JBC radio disc jockey Free Eye, were shot and wounded. According to the PIC, 3 gunmen traveling on motorcycles went to Tosh's residence and demanded money. Tosh and his guests were shot when they refused to comply with the demand. The gunmen escaped. The police have launched top-level investigations into the killing.
I know that Peter is beloved by everybody partly. So I didn't believe that anybody would do that to him. I wasn't looking for him to die that way. I say maybe he would die in a car crash. I know that he drive very fast. I wasn't looking for him to die by a gunshot.
All along that day.
Nothing was really ever, I think, firmly established except the motive of robbery. You know, rumors are fairly rife.
Well, the youth involved was in one incident in which policemen stopped them. He had a weapon on him. Peter took her up. And when the thing got to the police station, however, the tables got reversed. And he went to jail. And he came out feeling very bitter that he had sacrificed himself for Peter and didn't get a sufficient compensation.
Lie. Nothing like that. No get no Peter clean artist. Clean to the board.
I don't know the conspiracy behind the Peter Tosh killing, but you know, one of the man they've in prison right now, in an attack, and we hear say the man who actually shoot Peter dead, you know, in a New York, a man kill him. So I don't know how true it is, you know.
So really, the rumor that go out say Peter Tosh did really want to make a radio station in Jamaica for himself called the Rasta Reggae Radio. That's why they get rid of him. Yeah.
He said to me one day, he came to my house, he said to me one day that somebody told him that the security forces are out to get him. You would be shot on the spot, you know what I mean? And he said he knows that, but he's not afraid to speak his mind as long as he knows he's talking the truth. He'd rather die for the truth.
I wasn't surprised when he died. I really wasn't surprised because I knew that this was coming.
There must be, and there has always been, the other side of the story. They say there are three sides to the story. Your side of the story, my side of the story, and the side of the truth. And most of the time, you know, everybody is trying to pull the side of the truth to their side. And the truth is standing right there by itself. And everybody is trying to pull the side of the truth to their side.
I came from a poor family who financially wasn't capable to give me a proper schooling. Or a proper education in no level. But at the same time, my ambition and determination, my hopes and aspiration, and my inner concept of creativity that was born in me showed me to help myself, and I did.
There stood an old hut made of earth and wood, where lived the country boy named Johnny B. Good. I said he never learned to read and write so well, but he could play his guitar like a ringing a bell. Well. So come on and go, Johnny be good tonight. Yeah, you better go, Johnny be good. Mama said, son, you gotta be a man. You got to be the leader of a reggae band. People coming in from miles around, only to hear you play until the sun goes down. I say, boy, someday your name will be in the light. Say, Johnny, be good tonight.
In this society, I am classified as illegitimate. But that does not make me lose faith within myself, because my mother was not married to my father.
And I never really know was my son. Now I couldn't really know because I never linked with him. I never know what he was doing. You know, so I never know the position.
Because of unfavorable financial condition, my mother was not able to grow me under her own nature and admonition.
Yes, this is the street where Peter and I grew up. He was about age 6. We grew up here with my uncle, Uriah Campbell. He was very strict when it comes to church. We had to go to church twice on Sundays, plus every other night during the week.
When I was about 7 years old, I cannot forget when the devil tried to blind me with barbed wire. I heard my parents call. Running very fast, I clashed with the wire. 2 barbs, could be 3 or more, stuck in my eyelid, right on the surface of my eyeball. I wiped blood from my eyes. I looked in the mirror and I saw where my 2 eyelids were slit open. Open so wide I could see through them. That was one of the first major pit of destruction that the devil dug before my feet, so I would not see the ills, the corruption, the filth, the shit, the destruction, the lies, the hypocrisy, and the order of the day. In my times when I came to the planet in the 40s, the black people would be recognized as nobody. So I've never seen a black lawyer, a black judge, a black preacher. We become like sheep without shepherd, children without parents, students without teachers, born in the conflict of poverty. All we had was nothing. But because of the divine spirit that we was born and raised with, it teaches us to multiply nothing with nothing and get something. Zero with zero and get one.
I my own key to push my only door. But now I'm living on the seaside because I'm all alone. This just pain and poverty leave me without a home. That's because my girlfriend, she finds somebody else. I think so much about her. I keep on talking to myself. I get so weak and lazy. I just can't do my hair.
Never know that he could play so quick until this school teacher tell me that he can play piano.
And that was where we realized that he had the inclination for music. He used to be in the singing groups. He used to be on the junior choir.
Yes, he used to sing. From he was about 4 years old. He used to sing and collect monies. The stroke that time was shilling days. Choppings and shilling, and people gave it to him for he could sing. But he used to sing Christian songs.
Then they started to teach me of the devil and the Satan and the hell. They teach me of the Christians, but they make sure they teach me that Jesus, the Son of God, is a white man. When I ask, why am I black, they say, I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity. One of the main songs they used to sing in church that makes me sick. Lord, wash me and I shall be whiter than snow. In my search, I heard of the name God. I go to church and they said, God made man of his own likeness and image. If I made a doll in my image, it is quite obvious that the doll must look like me. Yet still, I am faced with the ignorance, lost into fantasy, seeking to find the reality in what they taught me of this illusion of God. I didn't like the blood business. I hate blood. And every time I hear them talk about the blood of Jesus, I imagine how much of my blood they would like to see shed. Because if them shed up Jesus' blood, so imagine who praise him.
All of these things really came down to what the black man could draw on. And what he came back to be able to draw on was a sense of himself through religion. A sense of expressing cultural assertion in an environment where black man's culture was just continually being suppressed. So he, in a sense, fell back on religion and religious symbolism as a mode of survival. The church thing he manipulated and assimilated because Christianity really didn't mean much to him. But it was a way of convincing the slave master that he was now civilized, could deal with this idiom, but at the same time master it. Hence, his attempt to translate that into musical forms that mystified the white man and blew his mind. And that's what Peter is all about.
My words is the truth, and the truth causes offense. And I don't care what men want to say about me. Because without the truth, there is no consciousness. Teach the youth to learn in school that the cow jump over moon. So you can't play the youth, and you can't fool the youth. You can't play the youth soft to me. You teach the youth about Christopher Columbus, and you said he was a very great man. You teach the youth about Marco Polo, and you said he was a very great man. You teach about the use of pirates and hawkers, and you said he was a very great man. Teach the youth about the pirate and Morgan, and you said he was a very great man. So you can't play the youth up today. You can't play the youth, not at all. All these great men were doing robbing, raping, kidnapping, and killing. So-called great men were doing robbing, raping, kidnapping, and killing. So you can't play the youth, you can't fool the youth. You can't play the youth of today.
I was singing at the age of 2. When I was 5, I made my first guitar. I was learning piano music at the age of 13. And if I only had the opportunity of having my own professional instrument, I would play the songs that angels sing. When I came into the city of Kilsom, which is called Kingston,
Them say to start from Margata, come round and bite you. That's a truth. Them say, if you play with Puppy, Puppy will lick your mouth.
it's the first time of me being on my own, living under my parents' jurisdiction. It was a new era in my life. A whole new page turned over, because this was totally different from what I grew up with in the country.
And me say, no dog bite me already. Can't ever bite me again. Could have deal.
The most dangerous things I ever heard or see in my life is when I find myself in Trench Town. I see many people, many youths in general, become victims of the shit steam. I see them die, I hear them cry. Oh, the pain, the agony they bear. Many I see die because of impatience. I see many get frustrated, hallucinated, I see myself in the same similar situation.
I grew up with Peter being in our house. Peter used to bathe me and used to comb my hair, you know, because he was the oldest one of the family at the time, because he's older than my brothers. And he says to me that I shouldn't worry, and that he's here and he'll protect me and no one will be able to hurt me.
Tosh was a man who believed in a spirit, believed in an evil spirit. Any man must hear about evil spirit. Well, he was a man who believed in them things there. You couldn't tell him say them things there. So, I'm sure like one night him lie down, you know, and him feel like somebody hold him down and he want to get up and him can't get up. I was attacked by evil forces, see, spiritual evil forces that caused my mouth to cease from function, caused my hands and legs to cease from moving. It's only my mind that was in function and my two eyes. And I was on the brink of what you call death.
It started with him when he came to live with us. Peter was in his teens.
I was wondering if I was paralyzed. At that moment, it caused me to make some inner communication, because that was the last resort. So I made some inner communication, and that inner communication caused me to get more confidence that there is a creator that dwells within man. See? So I began to ask him this question: what must I do? I said, what must I do? Just lie down and just dead so and get up tomorrow, and tomorrow man I'm dead? The spirit just say, move your bumbo clad. I said, what? He said, don't hesitate, you're on the countdown. In the countdown, it's like I heard 3, 2, and when one goes, I say, move your. And when I say, bumbo clad, it just fly out like bumbo clad. Immediately, every spell was released.
In Jamaica, using the word bumbleclad is like using the F word here in America.
Bumbleclad. That's why these guys said this thing is in decent language, so that they can release their vampires on you. And if you don't have that spiritual communication and counteraction, you go to heaven with your big toes tied.
It's a ghetto. It's the art of Jamaican ghetto, right? And Jamaican ghetto is, I don't know if the ghetto is the same all over the world, but in Jamaica there's nothing there, man. We're talking about the dirt, right? You know, the dust, you know, and in the ghetto it's like each one have to help one or every man for himself. The only thing we have in the ghetto that's for everyone is the inspiration of the Almighty God.
Sauce for the goose and goose for the gander. Treat me like a friend, then where shall I wander? Treat me good, my friends, you've got to treat me good, my friends. Why won't you treat me good, my friends, like you know you should treat me good, my friends? Things you don't like, don't do to your neighbor. Those same things may react upon you later. Treat me good, my friends. You've got to treat me good, my friends. Like I know you should treat me good, my friends. Why won't you treat me good, my friends? Honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long upon this land.
So now Peter them leave and come right with me and come stay with me. And so them a deal with the music and things. So I used to help them, and you know them don't give the people one kind of song. It's a compatible, them time with compat your heart. Them wanna sing this one here and them find the one here, go to the market, them sing the one here.
Because it's a whole heap of people we have, you know, and we have to take one music can comfort them all. We used to practice off the impression, them music that time courtesy me feel bad them time there, whole America them time, and all them record we used to practice off.
Bob, Bonnie and Peter, you know, is more than just a band of musicians, you know. You understand? Them live and trod like brothers, you know, blood brothers. Because you have to overstand, say, Peter Tosh's son, say Andrew Tosh. Andrew must also call Bonnie uncle. Because Andrew's mother is Bonnie's sister. And Bob's sister, Pearl, is Bonnie's sister also. So them tie up family-wise, you know what I mean? Them wasn't just youths who just sit down and play music. Them live music.
When they first went to Fox, right, you observed that they had some professional effort, but they were professional. So he told them to stay with me and he will tell them when they are ready. But the Wailers was that, in my opinion, I needed to convey in them the ability for each person to be able to account for himself in a wailing form.
Be a wailer, you have to cry. See? Because that's what it means to go through troubles, temptation, see? Humiliations and aggravation, police brutality. How much of them ever go through that? How much of them ever been to jail? How much of them ever been humiliated? How much of them ever been executed?
He was the man with the guitar. He was the one who would insist on the harmonic pattern, right? The melody. Bob, Bonnie, other persons could come with melody and lyric, but the person who would strum out those initial chords was Peter.
My intention was to build them head mentality about our world affair, how the world music industry. But they was dissatisfied of being raped off by people who name manager and producer. I wanted to do them own business now. So they would needed guidance. And come to them elders, accepting direction, guidance, having talent, and being an artist. We have to allow them, guide them at the same time.
World sound and power. World sound and power is a symbol of man. See? That's what we use amongst Babylon. We don't use a stick, nor a stone, nor a gun. I don't tell you that our policy is non-violent, non-political.
The government was totally against the Rastaman's presence. The society had teach the people to hate, to ignore the Rastaman.
We had to watch the police. Watch for the police coming in and destroy us. They catch us on the street, they cut our locks.
Talking about fear. Fear was only one of the ways of trying to eliminate the lion from the society. But that was one of the weapons that they tried to make him destroy himself with. There was many other ways and plots.
Babylon burning, Babylon burning, Babylon burning. They have no water.
And then when I investigated the fact, I found out that this Blackheart man was the Rastaman, the man of peace, the man of love and tranquility within his heart, the man that teaches good to his people, teach them to love each other.
I don't eat fish because I can't afford to take a life to save a life. Because the fish love him life just like how I love mine. And the Rasta is a thing where I talk about the rightness how people can live. Yellow, pink, blue, all kind of people.
The man that was so humble. Sometimes I feel embarrassed to see how humble they was. He would smoke the herb of the earth. And he would smoke until his eyes become as red as a flaming fire. See? But even though his eyes would be so red, from his mouth cometh the words of wisdom that would be so uplifting.
Out of this dark continent come forth prophets. So a message that we brought to earth is come together, sister, brother. Time gliding on. Hear the voice of Ethiopia. Calls everyone. Ethiopia is for anyone that will accept, not knowledge. Out of this dark continent come forth prophets.
Did I hear the words of a higher man say? Babylon's throne gone down, gone down. Babylon's throne gone down.
I was raised in the society of poverty, where I saw the innocent being humiliated daily, die for being poor. So poverty was a part of the crime in our society.
Jah is my light and my salvation. So whom shall I fear? He's my guide throughout this creation. So whom shall I be afraid?
Poverty was designed and designated by bureaucrats and leaders of churches and states to see to it that the Rastaman stay in the category of poverty and want and the needs, so he will break down and start to commit crime. But then again, when I look around me in Trenchtown, all I see was poor, ambitious people who had the ambition and the integrity and the divine qualities sometimes and dignity of a millionaire.
The lips of the righteous teaches many, but fools die for want of wisdom. The rich man's wealth is in the city. Fixation of the soul is vanity. Destruction of the whole is their poverty. The poor man's wealth is in a holy, holy place. Why do you fight each other? Why do you kill your brother? Then your reward will be the same tree.
Yeah, because you see the music come from pain, suffering, and yet high, loyal, dignified, majestic vibes, you know, that when you play it, you forget everything. Because, you know, music take all pain, all sorrow. You just think it's like a heavenly plane you reach, you know. So, Rasta go hand in hand with that because it's from the heartbeat, you know. That's where it come from.
We're sick and tired of your pushing game. Now you go to heaven in Jesus' name. We know and we understand. Mighty God is a living man. You fool some people sometimes. What did you say? But you can't fool all of people. So now you see the light. We gonna stand up for your rights. So you better get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up in the morning and don't give up the fight. I say get up, get up, get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, get up, get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
I think that Bob Marley being a son of a white man and his mother being black, and also that Chris Black was a Jamaican, I think there's a connection there between black and white, and I think Chris Black will realize this. Because Bob Marley is equal, you know, to the white man as well as to the black man. It's like a striking emblem of unity, which is necessary. But I don't think Chris Black will use it in that form.
We know those satans and those devils. They have been there for a long time. And I am sick and tired of their bullshit. What they are trying to do is create conflict. Seeing what they are trying to create between us is superstars. Seeing? And divide us and makes us look like we are rivals. Bob Marley was my student. See? And he was always my student from the very first moment he put his finger on a guitar. See, we were a group together. One went one way, two went the other way.
You see, success was, for us, was being together, you know, as one. Bonnie, Peter, Bob, all the way, together. So when we start split up and this man gone that way and that, man, that's when everything go down, to me. Yeah, from my observation, that's when things went down.
Never know what happiness is. Never know what sweetness is. I'll be always laughing like a clown. Oh, someone help me, 'cause I've got to free myself from all the drums in this concrete jungle. I say, what do you got for me now? You concrete jungle. Why won't you let me down? You concrete jungle. You name it, we've got it. Concrete jungle.
When I left the group, there are people who say that I am in conflict with Bob or some kind of madness, which is not a matter of being in conflict with Bob. It's just in conflict with the situation that I live in for all my life, approximately. See? And it definites my character, belittles my authority, underestimate my ability. And me could stomach that for another 12 years.
Bombaras. So can you imagine where I was at? I had was to have faith, both in myself and the Almighty, and ask Him to cool the tempest, so that I may be able to ride safely and accomplish my mission.
See it there, let Jah be praised. The goose and the ghost, let Jah be praised. The Daniel Lamb, let Jah be praised. Let him be praised. Let him be praised. You better let him be praised. Watereth the hills from his chambers, and the earth is satisfied, so satisfied. He maketh the grass, sheep man and shit man, born as Johnny the herd from man.
This was created by the Creator. It has spiritual botanical agents. It's a tetrahydrocannabinol, it's antifungus, antivirus, antitrypnosis, and antidote.
We struggled to make the first record without any money, and it took almost 2 years to make this one record and to find a record deal. And things kept falling through and not happening for one reason or another. People were afraid of Peter, didn't know how to deal with him.
They shall soon be cut down like grass, and they shall wither like.
And Jah created it for the motivation of the mind of man, to relax the mind of man, and is to do everything pertaining to the upliftment of the mind of man, to motivate inspiration.
More like that.
Selassie.
Ja.
Rastafari.
Yes, yeah, give thanks, you know, and praise.
Legalize it. Don't criticize.
What kind do you prefer specifically as a connoisseur of herb?
Sense me them lamb's bread and king's bread. I know like a thing them called goat shit.
Yeah.
There's a theory that if herb were legalized in Jamaica, it would turn the country into sort of an outlaw agronomy.
Bullshit.
You think so?
Bullshit. Herb is being sold in Jamaica. 9 out of 10 people in Jamaica smoke herb, so it don't turn outlaw agronomy.
Some call it weed. Some call it marijuana.
No, what I mean is that there's this whole United Nations thing.
Fuck the United Nations. If herb was a thing that growing in the blood clot United Nations, you think Jamaica could tell the United Nations what to do?
Legalize it. Don't criticize it. Legalize it, yeah. I will advertise. I want to hear everybody sing. Come on and sing this harmony. I want to hear from everybody. I want to sing the song with me. I said you sound so good to me.
Light up your spliff, light up your chalice. Come make we burn until a Buckingham Palace. Give me some paper, give me some whistle. Come make we chase with all those vampires. Light up the spliff, light up the chalice. Come make we run away all those vampires.
Let me your fire. Come and we chase vampire. If you want to know my father said you got to know. So what you think? Eat and listen, compare us. Then you see that we are one. Come on, light up your split, light up your chalice. We gonna down the
That Tosh is like a Malcolm X in a few vibes, you know, in terms of how he express himself.
He didn't necessarily pick up arms, but his arms was his lyrics.
X-rated in the sense of revolutionary, him too forceful, you know, and the system don't like man who stay that way there.
If you wanna live, treat me good. I'm like a walking razor, don't watch my size. I'm dangerous. I'm like a walking razor, don't watch my size. I'm dangerous.
Well, the police wanted to get him. I heard a lot of policemen say, hey, virtually I'd like to take this man down.
And him run afoul with the law many times, even in Jamaica once, where he was brutalized by the police. Out of one spliff, was almost beaten to death.
environment that I was born in, the philosophy that they preaches, inoculates the youth, African youths, with inferiority complex. In as much as I was taught that when you're white, you're perfectly right. When you're brown, you can stick around. But if you're black, stay in the back. Every morning going to school, my grandaunt used to wake me up, and she would almost wanted me to comb my hair. And if I was even combing my hair for 15 hours, when I finish, it would be the same. And they would always curse and say, "Natty butthead boy." I've been through World War I, and I'm going through World War II.
You know below street for black children, you in a Milan. No hospital for black people, you in a Milan. You build pure prison, you in a Milan. You build pure camp. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. You cross the border, you shoot after children. You cross the border, you shoot down women. You cross the border. You take your might across the border to beat the right. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid.
Everyone is crying out for peace. None is crying out for justice. I said, everyone is crying out for peace. I say, none is crying out for justice. But there will be no peace till man gets equal rights and justice. Yeah. Equal rights and justice. Oh, yeah. Equal rights and justice. Equal rights and justice. Everybody want to go up to heaven, I say. Nobody want to die. Everybody want to go up to heaven, I say. But none of them want to die. I don't know why.
This is Jamaica, a lush tropical paradise with rich land. Unemployment is more than 30%, and it's getting worse each day. Violence has broken out. Tanks patrol the trouble spots, where in the past several months at least 22 have been killed in shootings associated with the elections this fall.
Yeah, well, Peter was a man who licked down both sides of the political fence. That means no side could get to reach him.
And now Jamaica is headed into another election campaign with Prime Minister Michael Manley's People's National Party ranged against Edward Seaga's Jamaica Labour Party.
The average Jamaican is desperately trying to make it through each week.
Worse, can't be worse. Any worse than this is dead.
Well, I come with earthquake, lightning, and thunder to break down these barriers of oppression, drive away transgression, and rule equality between humble black people.
Them one time, come on them funeral. Them claim say, them are the general.
People are so frightened of sudden terrorist attacks that they have lifted the street grading so cars can't get by. Unidentified gunmen have repeatedly attacked this neighborhood, and they are rarely caught.
This was a situation where the leaders of the so-called gangs in the ghettos, right, they came together and they saw it that it was time, instead of fighting against each other and killing off brothers and sisters, and they would just call a peace truce with a concert. They decided to have Bob Marley headline the festival.
We're gonna make them right. We got to unite. Get.
Peter didn't understand what they mean by peace, because his terminology for peace was so much different from what how other people saw it.
This concert here, where them say it's a peace concert. I man never don't come in, you know why? Because what? It was a peace concert. And I wonder if many people realize what the word peace means. Eh? Peace is the diploma you get in the cemetery.
Where people died from the peace treaty have been signed till this time, till now.
I didn't know.
Oh, yes. I made a speech because there is where I saw the Minister of Opposition and the Prime Minister.
Well, right now, Jamaica have been living under this colonial imperialistic situation for a long time. See? We're irrespective of what's going on now and what government in power. Government have to know that you have a whole lot of evil forces to fight who don't like to see nothing progressive, so learn that. And the devil is a dangerous guy. See?
That was brilliant, you know. Getting out the standard, this double standard.
Learn this, because when Columbus and Henry Morgan and Francis Drake come on here, I'm going to call them pirates and put them in a reading book and give us observation that we must look at and live the life and the principle of pirates. To the youth, them now fire up them gun like Henry Morgan, same way.
Some reason or another, the man them who project the revolutionary vibes without compromise is the man that I always find to get murdered.
I and I have to set up this country here and eliminate all those systems that black poor people don't live in confusion, because hungry people are angry people. So right now, if the government just come together and say, right now, if we want to build this country and build the people them, because right now you can't build the country and don't build the people. People suffering from malnutrition and all them things there. And just a shit system that lay down to belittle the poor. You know what I'm saying? It's only the poor go to jail. Every time you go in a jail is a poor man. A few poor people me seen there. The rascal, they go a courthouse, it's full of poor people. So, them the shit system they have to change. See?
He was not a recording artist coming in to record a few songs, you know. He's a guy coming in with his message. He's living his message. He's living his image. He is his image, and he is his message.
Yeah, Peter was a soldier, you know. And the music, him not compromise with. It's like, you know, him just have certain message where him just say it, the way him feel it. And every man just bring it up front, straightforward. Which, as we know, reggae music as the weapon of the future. We have to have the seriousness and then bring that out every time.
Rastafari, high, high, high. Let Jah arise, and let all his enemies scatter. Let them that fear Jah now flee before Jah. As the smoke is driven away,
I've been brutalized by police, not because they know that I am a criminal or I'm doing subversive things within the society, but they know that I speak the truth, and the truth is destructive to the functioning of lies and corruption.
Do you think that there is a connection between this, the speech at the One Love concert and the incident last fall when you were brutalized? Do you feel a direct connection?
Yes, man, I know it's a direct connection.
but this time it won't be so, oh no. For the wicked shall be like the chaff that the wind driveth away, like the wax that melteth before the fire, so shall they be. Cause Jah Rastafari high, 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 high.
Understood by those who try to interpret his message. And this, of course, creates infinite complications when the prophet is deeper than his time.
The sheep, all sheep of the fold, has scattered themselves. And everyone is suffering from this great thing called ego. Everybody is busy involved in himself. The respect of humanity has been lost. See? No man respects his fellow man again. But this time the truth shall swim like waters cover the sea. And only righteousness can exalt a nation.
If it wasn't Bob Marley, it wasn't reggae. So Peter must have been meeting his set of hard work to break his reggae to the world, you know?
Robert Nesta Marley, who was presented with the Order of Merit a few weeks ago by the Jamaican government. This is the second highest honor that's...
So when Bob died, they called me to announce it to the radio stations to let them know that Bob had died. But because of the closeness of Peter and Bob and Bonnie, I said to myself, let me call Peter first. So I called him. I said, Peter, I'm calling you first before I tell the radio stations, but Bob has died, you know. So I said, well, if it's so, it's just so. At least it leaves a little space for all of us to go through now.
The truth is, I was born with fear. Lots of fear for the evil that exists around me 360 degrees. But there is something within me that was born inside of me that was called determination. And I know it has more power than fear.
I've been sitting and wondering, waiting for the time to fly. And you know I tried. You can imagine how I tried. I tried it, and I did try. But I got to pick myself up and dust myself off, and I had to start all over. Every time I start all over, pick myself off the ground, turn myself around, and start all over. Every time I start all over.
Why do you think that the militant artist proposes a threat to these people? Why do they?
Because their works are corruption. And where there is corruption, there must be an eruption. You see? And irrespective of what bureaucrats are promising the people and politicians and telling you what they are doing and what they will be doing, they have always been promising good, but doing the most dangerous evil. And all I've been seeing is that I've been seeing from I was a youth growing up. All the people get these promises, comfortable promises, for 1,000 years. And a generation come and a generation go, and no promises accomplished.
Peter and Freya had something in common, which was that they all believed in this, the blackness, the uprising, the uplifting of black people and black consciousness levels.
Live clean, let your works be seen. Stand firm or you gonna feel worm. Live clean, let your works be seen, my brothers. Stand firm or you gonna feel worm.
Freya, I know I'd put in an application to get control of JBC Radio 1 to buy it out. Freya, I was almost certain now, as long as they decide not to give it to a foreigner. And he was backed by Peter and all of this, in terms of structuring it along Rasta, black. That was the emphasis, you know. Not just the music play, but the teachings of black people, you know, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. So the government was in a dilemma because they didn't want to give it to Freya. And Peter did I prefer give it to somebody else.
Live clean, let your works be seen.
Jamaica society is not really ready to have Rastafari be so projected on such a serious medium.
Listen, this one.
It's brand new. You want Mama Africa.
And this one is called Not Gonna Give It Up.
He became overzealous. You know, his spirituality actually overtook him. And he knew that there had to be like a satanism thing going around that would always want to devour God's people.
Gonna give it up, I'm not going. Said I'm not gonna give it up, I'm not going. I will be fighting, I gotta be fighting, and I must be fighting. Fighting till Africa, and Africans are free. I say that I've been up there, and I've seen poverty beyond compare. I know free drivers just don't care, they just don't care. No, and I'm not gonna give it up, I'm not going.
But it's not a Michael Jackson bumbleclot element, and not a little with the next one named Prince element, and them kind of little big bop bumbleclot element. It's too, it's too black for them.
Don't care where you come from, as long as you're a black man.
And when I get so fucking upset, I don't bother blood clot talk English bomber clot grammar, cause them things they get me very bomber clot upset. See? And all because, you know why? I am not singing darling, I blood clot love you, and come shake my rust, and I swim the ocean and climb the mountain. See? And that not going to change me. Seeing because I am going to kill the fuckery out there. And people is going to be in demand for the truth. People is sick and tired of hearing bumbleclot, get down, shake your fucking booty. Seeing? People is sick and tired of hearing darling, I blood clot, love you. You turn on the fucking radio 24 bumbleclot hours a day. You hear darling, I love you. A man wouldn't sing to the almighty rasclat. Him love him woman more than the creator who create the sun, the moon and the bumbleclot star. I sick and tired of hearing that blood clot. Sin.
Well, he had an ulcer. I think round about 84 that was discovered, and he came off the road.
Yeah, before he went to Africa, he came to me saying he can't sing no more. So he wanted to go to Africa now to clean up that.
So one of the things he told me was of being very impressed with the magical and mystical powers of the medicine men he met there. Especially one gentleman who introduced him to roots, which if used in a particular way and taken on a particular day, perhaps with the sun in a particular direction, you would magically have the power to change your form. And he told me quite convincingly that this African doctor took the roots, transformed himself into a tiger, into a serpent, and then back into man.
And he told us that Peter would have to make a sacrifice, right, when he comes back to Jamaica. And then Peter wanted something that, no, this is true, I can tell you this, right? Peter wanted something that could protect him from bullets.
Living in the country, a small country like Jamaica, which everything is there, good and bad. You're confused of thinking what is what, and sometimes you know the Bible tell you that that you must be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, and that means you protect yourself because there's elements out there, there's evil. But being a Rasta faith, you don't have to think about this thing when you're a Rasta.
People come here, warn us, tell us that them hear certain rumors, say a certain individual say, me and Peter are gonna dead up here, and nobody not gonna know how we dead. And Peter would say to them, say, oh, me can't dead, man, and just move on away from me with them argument, because me can't dead. Well, me see Peter in an icebox, and enough of the dead people around him. So me can't say no better than, the flesh dead.
She was someone within his household, within his life, whatever, who was taking care of him because of him and handling his affairs because of a personal relationship. She wasn't doing it for personal gain. She was doing it for both of them because they had become one.
I know there was something wrong, and he said to me something on the phone there, that really bothers me up till now. It really bothered me because he has a fear. Peter has a serious fear all the time that somebody was out to hurt him.
It's like it was a different Peter now. You start getting the dopey part of Peter now. You know what I mean? She awoke now, this whole dopey part, knowing that Peter was a man who was always speaking about ghosts. If you want a story from Peter, I mean, back up on a normal day, Peter fills you with ghost stories.
When he bought the house up at Plymouth Avenue, he said there was 49 dopey living in there. And he said he's gonna chase out every one of them.
She got blood, like raw human blood. Yeah. That's more like a outer critic affair, me are dealing iniquity. Wobia or some bullshit.
I'm the type of person that will look out for Peter and don't care who you are. If I see you're bad news for Peter, I'll say to you, you are bad news. Get out of my life. Just get out.
Long bumbleclad time they've been robbing Peter to pay Paul, and I've been seeing too much of that, and at the same time wants me to keep on working, bumbo blood clot, working for all the days of my fucking life. And when you're done working, you end up paying your fucking old age pension to the doctor. I am not into that bumbo clot talk. I am not here to subordinate. Neither am I here to live up to no man's expectation. People deal into shit here and take it for enjoyment. I can't take that. To say lies the most and hypocrisy is the other of the day. When I play to people, every time I play to my audience, yeah. As I have already said, this is the last year of me being treated that way. See? And it's only a pity that the few fans that I have out there won't be seeing me here in the Western Hemisphere no bumbucklad more because I'm tired of being abused. See?
Well, you should consider working for one of the independent labels because they are plugged in. They know all the personalities of the club.
He was a man who always show that he know himself until when this, as I show you say, he make a switch. In this last lap here, he really make a switch.
Oh yeah, God save the African king. Anyone having anything to say before this just judge? Come say it now and say it like the glad, and not like the mad. For this judge have no mercy in this time. Court's in session. Silence in the court. The court's in session.
So if you get afraid of the dopey have come for so it go.
I was in close confrontation with the devils. I could see them face to face. I see them feed upon their brother's flesh, like the fowls of the air feed upon the dead meat of the earth. I see everything that is deadly upon creation invented, arranged to assassinate those who speak the truth.
This business has a long reputation of like guys who are bad and sometimes they like to hang on to artists. I spoke to him after the thing happened, you know. I said, why you kill Peter, man? And, you know, at the jail. And he says, I don't kill Peter, man. Peter give me the bed I sleep on. The shoes I have on is Peter bike. This is how I kill Peter.
Well, my dad know what kind of a character he was. Because a man that spent 13 years in prison for killing cops. That's not an easy guy.
He bought you some things when he came out of jail. What did he buy you?
A bed. There's still a lot of people who said that you and Peter came from the same part of the ghetto and you would have known him way back. Yes, I know Peter from my little bit boy. Oh, really? We move like brother. We are brothers. I have no knowledge about it. I have no knowledge whatsoever. I have no knowledge about this incident. We don't know about it. We don't know. Where are you, Dr. Spanish?
Well, you said him tell you that he wasn't there. Well, if he wasn't there, I never get shot.
Man, if they didn't have one mask that night, and it seemed like they came on a robbery, but I noticed keenly they didn't really took anything from the place, you know. That made me have to wonder if it was really robbery they came on, you know.
The guy let him in as a friend, Michael, because Michael knew him as Peter's friend.
I see them pulling guns off them side, you know. And they put the gun at my neck and told me to go upstairs. So we went upstairs, entered the living room where Peter and Marlene and Santa and Doc was there watching television.
I saw Michael coming upstairs with his eye tear open. Then I started looking behind Michael, you know. I noticed I see 3 other men coming behind him. So when I look, I saw them pull 3 guns and turn to us and said to us to belly eat him. So all we did was to do what they said, and we all went down and bellied.
But at first I thought it was a joke. You know, I thought it was a joke because, I mean, you know, we have friends, you know, sometimes who play around sometimes, and, you know.
Well, at first I was shocked. First thing come to even my mind, I thought it was policemen, judging how they looked, you know, how they dressed, and they were smooth and clean cut and, you know, no ghetto looking rough business.
Even when everybody was laying down, I was still sitting up, you know. And then when one of the guys came to me and said, "Hey, Jed, you've got on to, you know." I just started praying.
And Lepo started asking about money. Marlene was the first one to reply. Immediately he said she must shut up her mouth because she was the cause of all this.
Here, the spot of that night. You can see right here, the blood stain. This is Doc Brown's blood stain. Over here you can see another stain, which is Peter's blood stain from that night.
It was an eerie feeling. The house just looked, I don't know, I guess you call it woman's whatever, intuition. But I said to him, after he knocked 2 times, and there's no response, and I heard Marlene's voice. We couldn't figure out exactly what she was saying.
Telling him to run. Don't come. So I told him one day that I would run, and one of the guys said to me, "Shut up your mouth," or "Shut your name out," and he run downstairs.
Now, as we got up to the top of the stairs, we saw everybody on the floor, and there's these 2 guys walking around with guns. And
he started looking around in the kitchen and he discovered a machete. And he came back over to us and he came to Peter and said, "If you don't give me the money we have in the house, I'm going to chop off your head." And he went up to Peter and raised his hand to chop off, and it's like Marlene jumped up and jumped before him and said, "You can't chop off my man's head."
One of the guys, you know, would say to Peter that it's tonight he went dead.
You could have seen them man, they like them really high or boost up on some drugs or something, you know?
If you looked up and say, "Put your head down where you look up for," like I said, I got gun butted, just trying to see what was happening to Freya. The last things I can remember Peter saying to them is, "I have no money. I really have no money in the house." This is what I heard, okay? I never heard any arguments about any deals that were done and never got paid for.
I don't care. I know they were sent. Because the order that they came in, "Peter, you're there tonight. Me come for kill you." Them words they may never forget.
Reggae superstar Peter Tosh and another man known as Doctor were shot dead at the singer's Plymouth Avenue home at about 8:30 last night. 5 other persons, including popular JBC radio hit Doctor, were shot. According to the PIC, 3 gunmen passing motorcycles went to Tosh's residence and demanded money. Tosh and his guests were shot when they refused to comply with the demand. The gunmen escaped.
At the National Arena in the capital, Kingston, the Jamaican people mourn the loss of yet another of their reggae superstars, Peter Tosh.
it's not something that you can ever erase out of your mind. And I thought more than less to get over this is come back to this house, live into it and face it.
You see a friend face, you don't see his heart, so it's like anything can happen.
When he was very small, when he was a baby, he always cry a lot. And when he called me, I said, Miss Viva, the baby crying. I said, make him cry if I want him to sing. But I never knew he was going to be that singer.
With your and I had seen from the beginning. You will stand before him. The fearful angels will strike one against another.
When I look into the wide blue ocean, I see the truth. When I look up in the skies, the unfathomable skies, I see the truth. When I fill my lungs with fresh air, I feel the truth. It's only the truth that can make a man free. It's only the truth that can make a man live.
All my good life I've been a lonely man, teaching people alone. it all. Stop it, yeah. Stop that train, I'm leaving. No. Stop that train, I'm leaving right now. Stop that train, I'm leaving. And I'm telling that it won't be too long, whether I'm right or wrong. But it won't be too long, whether I'm right or wrong. Stop that train, stop that train, I'm leaving. Stop that train, I'm leaving. Stop me now. Stop that train, I'm leaving. Yes, I'm telling that it won't be too long, whether I'm right or wrong. It won't be too long, whether I'm right or wrong.
Every form of victimization is universal, not only in Jamaica. But because I live in Jamaica and I see many youths become victim of the shit system, I know it is universal. The Father gives me the inspiration to sing the music because he said, I call upon the singers and the players of instruments. All my springs are in thee. That means I am here to play the music and to communicate with the Father spiritually so I can be inspired to make music to awaken the slumbering mentality of people.